Hello, this is Steve Wanamaker, CEO of CDO Magazine, and it is an honor to have Marco Vernocchi, the global CDO of EY, and Arijit Sengupta, the CEO of Able, on our series and interviews today. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, let's hop right into it. Today, we're going to talk about strategy roadmap, data management, and analytics strategy and roadmaps. So here's the first question. How do you strengthen trust between IT and business stakeholders? Marco, why don't you go first?
Well, Steve, you're not making an easy question, right? So this is a very hard question to answer. And reason for that is because IT, business, data, the leaders, they come with different professional backgrounds. They come with different perspectives. So how to make it work, how to find the chemistry in between the different parts of that triangle, if you like, is not an easy job. That is why I often define the CDO role as the role of a change agent, right? So the change management aspect of the data leaders or the data officers is a very important, very often underestimated aspect of the job. It's not about just data architectures or data models or AI or analytics, and you can name the different dimensions. There's a lot of senior business management work that is required to really drive the transformation that is needed. Let me just give you a few very basic maybe statements that you may use it if you like. Because, as I said, a change agent needs to find a way to align interests of different stakeholders, to find a common intention to work together. And I always like to say three simple statements. One is that data brings intelligence to life. There's no intelligence without data. Now, that is a general principle that I think is used to, let's say, find a common agreement. The second one is that data extends the value of technology. Technology without data or technology with data, they're not even comparable, right? Technology with data plays at the level of performance that is not even comparable. So data extends value of technology. That is important to make sure that the CTOs or the CIOs are really clear on the value they can get out of data. The third aspect that I would like to mention is that data drives business distinctiveness. Again, a business solution or a product or a service with good data, with high quality data, with unique and specific data makes a difference in the market with the customers and the consumers. So again, it's extremely important that some of the foundational principles of working together are very clear agreed, because that is driving the specific level of interest. And then maybe on a specific experience of what we do at EY, just to bring it to life. At EY, for all of the main investment priorities, we create a team of leaders that is composed by the data officer, the technology officer, and the business leader in that specific domain. So I have, in my own case, dedicated data officers to the different parts of the organization that are reporting into me. They are responsible, together with the technology officers and the business leaders, of the business to be developed, let's say, or the investment that need to be conducted together. So working together is an act of, let's say, is a choice.
Those are some really good thoughts. And you know what I really have appreciated about your comments, this whole thing is EY strategy, where data has an important role at the table, where when you're thinking about whatever you're trying to do, you really think about how is data being leveraged through that whole process for the greatest value, for maximum impact with the investment. Am I hearing you right?
Yes, because the return on investment will depend heavily on the alignment of those, let's say, dimensions.
Absolutely. Arijit, your thoughts, sir?
So I agree with Marcus. So I'm just going to focus in on one area where I do see a new challenge that people are facing now, which is the world of AI. IT is used to thinking of projects like ERP projects. And one of the first things I do when I talk to the IT organization is AI is like a melting ice cream in your hands. The better the AI, the hotter the sun, it's going to melt faster. So do not think of it as a project you get done and get deployed and you forget about. Because the more effective an AI, the more quickly it changes the behavior of the people involved in that process. It affects your business outcomes, it affects your competitors. So the data that the AI was trained on becomes stale. So the more effective the AI, the more often you have to update that AI. AI projects are not static, they are iterative by their very nature. And if IT doesn't have that expectation, if business sometimes fails to grasp that point, but if IT doesn't get that up early, there is a misalignment in expectations that has led to a lot of failure. I've seen AI projects that have been in production for 3-4 years, and it's completely unproductive and almost destructive by that point to have those AI projects up and running. And one funny thing is you go in and look at end user adoption of the AI. Are they listening to the recommendations? You'll see 30% compliance. So the human is actually ignoring the AI 70% of the time. So business and IT's expectation of what happens with an AI project is often misunderstood. And as long as they start out thinking an AI project is going to be iterative as opposed to like a ERP implementation, they're in a much better place.
Next question. What's your take on those who wait on perfect data before initiating an AI project? Arijit, your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones because I usually ask them what makes it perfect data? Like, what's the definition of perfect data? And they usually don't even have a good answer to that. But if you go to a data scientist and say, can you clean the data further? They will always tell you, yes, of course I can clean the data further. I can, of course, create one more feature. And we had this project where the data scientists had created almost 5,000 features manually. And then we asked them, well, how are you going to get this into production? How are you going to maintain that? And all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, what have we done? We have created a monster. But what happens is if you start from a simple definition of what data is good enough, because know that you're choosing between cleaner data and staler data, right? That's your choice. Do I want clean data or do I want stale data? So if you come up with a simple definition and we said, does the AI trained on that data help you do at least 10% better than you're doing today? So we baseline that AI's recommendations. What would have happened if you had followed the AI's recommendation to what you're doing today? And if the AI based on this data would be better than what you're doing today, get going, get that 10% improvement, get that 20% improvement and iterate. Nobody's saying don't iterate. But if you wait for cleaner and cleaner data, you're then training that AI on unrealistically clean data, and the world will change pretty fast, and the AI will be ineffective anyway. So why do that?
Marco, your opinion?
Yes, I agree. Perfect data do not exist. So like it's like the sacro graal. Now the point is, again, just to add on what Arijit said and not repeating. So clearly Arijit discussed about the problem of the usual garbage in, garbage out, the data quality, the data preparation, and so on, which is obviously central. To add to that, probably what I would also mention is the growing relevance of the external data that companies are using. So the world of the data providers, the data aggregators is first of all, very dynamic, is growing, and is transforming itself under many dimensions. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So when I think about data providers, I'm not going to make specific names, but I really mean the people that are selling data or data products or data services to the rest of the economy. Now, why I'm referring to that? Because it's extremely important to start being aware of the dynamics, the level of consolidation that is happening on the data providers themselves, which is giving them scale of such relevance that cannot be underestimated. The first point. The second point is they will drive a new wave of alliances. The same way people are making alliances with the tech providers, more and more we need to find ways of working together with the data providers, not only as vendors, but as partners. Why that is important? Because clearly they are getting to a level of business substance and scale on a global basis that they need to find their own way of expanding on their own value chain. And so working together with them is going to be extremely important, and that will have a huge relevance on the data quality that you are able to leverage. But it's not only the, let's say, the economies of scale, is also the level of innovation that we are observing. And I'm going to mention just a couple of quick examples. One is the world of ESG, and there are a number of highly specialized data providers on ESG data that didn't exist before. So that is a new wave of distinctiveness and differentiation. At the same time, for many of you, maybe obviously, let's say, well known, but not necessarily to all, the concept of alternative data is a new area of new sources of data coming from geolocalization systems or other type of technology-driven, let's say, vehicles. All of those are creating a completely new set of highly distinctive, highly specialized data sets and data products. Now, why I'm saying that? Because when you look at the, let's say, not only within the enterprise, but beyond the enterprise, there's a huge wave of, let's say, differentiation. There's a new wave of competition that is coming through. And as data leaders, we need to make sure that we are fully aware of the characteristics and the dynamics, the risks and the opportunities that are coming from that side as well.
Very, very good thoughts. Any parting thoughts or comments from either of you today? Maybe one last word from each of you. Arijit, any thoughts from you?
Well, fundamentally, the world has changed. Something like what we're seeing with AI is more transformative than the internet or the PC revolution. So if you find yourself applying AI to what you were doing before, you're thinking about it wrong. You need to start rethinking your business, your ability to react to changes, your ability to have a competitive differentiation in light of AI. And to do that, you have to have an AI first end-to-end strategy. You can't just reactively add it on to what you were doing before.
Marco, last word from you today, sir.
Yeah, maybe the final one from my side is we talk about the technology, the vendors and the sources and so on, and the processes. I would close saying that trust has to be at the center of data-driven transformation. You cannot be, or AI transformation, you cannot be successful if your intelligence is not trusted. So trust has to be embedded in all of the steps of your value creation, from your business model, your value proposition, your business model, your artificial intelligence, let's say, landscape, your data and your technology. Trust has to be built into the system in order to make you a trusted player in the ecosystem. If you can be trusted, then you will be successful. If you are not trusted, sooner or later you will fail in a growing level of global interdependency. That is a very important point, because until now, trust has been always considered a compliance ex post dimension. You just wanted to check a list of conditions and to say, yes, you are satisfying the rules. Moving forward, trust has to be embedded in the way you operate daily and profoundly. So the concept of trust is going to be an extremely important element of success.
Well, Marco and Arijit, it was an honor to have you both here today as a part of our interview series. And to learn more, go to cdomagazine.tech. And thank you for watching today.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Steve. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.